Good afternoon and welcome to National League TV and the Heed Army podcast. We're bringing you full match commentary this afternoon from Gateshead International Stadium. It's Vanarama National League action, Gateshead versus Rochdale, and it should be a corker of a game if Tuesday night is anything to go by. Both teams vying for playoff push at the end of the season. Gateshead sitting in the playoffs, but Rochdale 9 points adrift, and you would have to say this is probably their last chance to get in there, and we'll be talking about that all coming up. My name's David Gaddis. It's an absolute pleasure and honour to be with you this afternoon. I'm joined by Mark Carruthers as well. And Mark, the last time we did a game against Rochdale, it was the FA Cup.
It was.
Yeah.
It feels like ages ago, that, doesn't it? But different circumstances this time, and both clubs, hoping to get a bit of momentum going into the last month of the season, month or so. Really starting to get to that stage where every single point matters, every win, every goal matters, and it's going to be sounds a great game today. Two good footballing sides on a pitch that's holding up very well and held up very well. So let's hope it's going to be a cracker.
It certainly is, and we've got the return of a familiar face as well. Someone that had a nice 6 months on Tyneside. We've got Jacob Chapman, who is going to make his second start for Rochdale this afternoon. Of course, played his part in the first half of the promotion season from National League North. Big Australian goalkeeper, lovely lad as well. So it's nice to see him continuing his footballing journey. Of course, he's had a couple of first-team appearances at Huddersfield as well. Yeah,
I mean, he was a big part of the first part of that season, wasn't he? What was a historic season for the club. I'm sure he'll reflect fondly on his time at the club. As we see him getting a little round of applause as he comes off here. Yeah. Always a good character, a nice guy, someone that I think was kind of epitomised the sort of character Gateshead were trying to bring in. And in the end, I think it was just that the loan got cut short for other reasons.
Yeah.
Gateshead went out and got Phil Marshall from Aston Villa, and but you can't look past the hard work that Jacob put in that first half of the season.
Of course, what a nice end to the season that he was there to join in with the celebrations. That surely when Gateshead did finally achieve promotion and winning the league. So nice to see that familiar face back. We'll go through the teams very, very shortly. But Mark, just a reflection on Tuesday night, of course, for Gateshead. A phenomenal scoreline, 7-1. They don't come around that often. Nice that it's against North-East rivals as well. Although it isn't much of a heated derby game, but to do that against a team like Hartlepool, I said on the podcast that that was the type of game 20 years ago Gateshead fans would love as a pre-season game, let alone as a league game, and how times have changed.
I think the big thing I've looked at in the aftermath of that game is that there's been a lot of talk about how poor Hartlepool were, and I think that really did disservice to how good Gateshead were. First, I've said this a million times, I feel like I have over the last few days, but the first 15 minutes I thought was going to be an awkward night for Gateshead. Once they got the equaliser, there was only ever going to be one winner. They were phenomenal. In particular the second half. Got that quick start with that Kieran Evans goal and then never really looked back. It was, it should give them momentum, it should give them added confidence, not that they need it going into today's game. And it's a big one.
It really is. And, there's another man that got a bit of the headlines. Dijon Brown just leaves the pitch now to a wonderful round of applause from the home support. The development has been absolutely phenomenal to watch in Dijon. Of the first few games we've seen, we thought, oh, there's a player that looks like he could find the back of the net. He's turned out to be quite prolific at the moment, and not just in front of goal. He's adds a lot more to the game than just scoring goals.
It's quite the understatement that he's been prolific, isn't it? He's been phenomenal form. I know he's getting a lot of plaudits from down in Derby as well, his parent club. I just love his movement, his touch, his enthusiasm. I do think, I said it on Twitter, that there are aspects of his game that can still improve, but we shouldn't forget he's an 18-year-old kid. This is his very first experience of senior football, and he's been phenomenal so far. The fact he's keeping Marcus Denanga on the bench says everything. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe Monday Denanga comes back in.
Yeah, I think, as I say, we just mentioned about Gateshead's team. It's unchanged from the team that started against Hartlepool on Tuesday evening. I'll go through that now. Nathan Harness in goal, Robbie Tinkler, Kent Richardson, Louis Story, Kane Adam, Luke Hannant, Ed Francis as captain, Regan Booty, Callum Whelan, Kieran Evans and Dejan Brown on the bench. It is Tom Allen, Marcus Denanga, Greg Ollie, Ben Warman and Joe Grayson. So completely the same as it was on Tuesday. And Mark, we're talking about the strength in depth. We've seen how strong that bench is. And when Greg Ollie eventually come on to get a bit of a cameo, he slotted straight in there like he hadn't been away.
Yeah, I mean, Greg, you can't underestimate how big a part of this football club he is as captain, as club captain, as someone who has been through the whole journey with the club. It's a huge boost to have him back in the squad. And you mentioned it there. I mean, you look at the bench, and again, I said it on Tuesday, but any single one of those players could go in and be part of that starting lineup.
And not just the bench. I mean, we're looking at the squad players that are there. There's a lot of players that have come through the academy, Panny down there, and a few other players. It's really, and one thing I want to point out as well, just before we came live on air, there was 3 groups of Gateshead players training. There was the defensive group. Oh God, 4 really if you class the goalkeepers. And it's the first time I've really noticed that. Well, of course, we've always seen the defenders maybe practicing their, aerial headers before the game, holding the line and things like that. But there was a distinct group of each, talking about what their jobs are before the game. And we're seeing Gateshead maybe, I'm not going to say going into overdrive, but they're starting to turn up the attention to detail.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got a coaching staff like Louis Story and Carl Magnay especially, I mean, 2 great defenders. One still is. The other one obviously retired now. You've got Rob Elliott, who's a goalkeeper who knows the importance of a goalkeeper. It's probably no shock that Gateshead have improved massively in recent weeks. You can see that attention to detail going in, you're right. And I think on Tuesday, after they got the grips with Hartlepool, yes, obviously Gateshead dominated the game, and that makes it easier as a defensive unit. But I thought the ease that they dealt with an awkward forward line in Manny Diaz-Suarva and Joe Gray was phenomenal.
I would say Joe was a very, very rapid player, and we know what the team could bring Hartlepool to try and disrupt, and it did look that way it was going to be. But we'll go through the visitors. Jacob Chapman is in goal, Kyron Gordon, Cameron John, Ryan East, Ethan Ebanks Landell as captain, Cairo Mitchell, Devante Rodney, Jimmy Cohane and George Nevitt, Kane Hayes and Harvey Gilmore. On the bench is Therese Sinclair, Adam Clayton, Dan Sassy, Finley Armstrong and Sam Mather. And I say we did play Rochdale. I was played them twice in a week, I think, early on when in Rob Elliott's tenure. Of course, we've come back from a 2-0 deficit at half-time to 2-2 in Rob's first game. And then we went down and won in the early rounds of the FA Trophy, which was a game that was notable because we've seen Tom Allen, unfortunately, get injured in that one, and he's only just come back from that.
He has, and we incorrectly corrected him with the goal as well, didn't we?
In real time, it did look like it did. Yeah.
But no, I mean, Tom, you look at what he's done to get back into this squad. I know how highly he's rated within the squad. I know how highly Rob Elliott rates him. I think we saw glimpses of what he's about on Tuesday night when he came off the bench, and he really gave the Hartlepool defence a torrid time. He did the same in the trophy game when he came off the bench, and just lovely to see him back. And I'd love to see him play a big part in the remainder of the season.
Just a quick mention as well, as is Tuesday night, a fantastic away following in the east stand on the far side there. We had heard that most possibly 200. I think there might be a little bit more there. It's getting up towards 300. They're still coming into a fantastic away support from the Rochdale faithful there. And so anyone listening in, as I say, we hope that you enjoy it. We are the Gator commentary, of course, but we call it, as we say it, down the middle as much as we can. And we hope that you do enjoy this. If you're joining us on our audio stream on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and you can interact with us. People have already done that. We've got someone predicting 3-1. That's from Gateshead Stats. Liv Walden's got positive feeling today. She sent that in. And Davey Steele, one of our co-hosts on the podcast, is for afternoon, gents. 3 points today, please, regardless of how we win. Just grind out another win. And of course, Tuesday night, as pleasing as it was on the eye, the 3 points was the most important thing.
Yeah, and to use a boring manager chat, Tuesday will mean nothing unless it's followed up today and on Monday. I mean, you look at it and you think, if Gateshead can get 3 points today, it's almost the perfect week. After the Altrincham game, especially last last Saturday, and we shouldn't ignore the fact that Rob Elliott has been voted as Vanarama's Manager of the Week in the National League as well. So
it certainly has.
But he also stressed on Tuesday just how difficult this game is. He knows what Rochdale are about. They're a good footballing side. They will press. This is going to be tough.
Over the years, especially under Mike Williamson, there was a mantra of follow the process. There seems to be a new one now around Tyneside, and it's the winds are on too high and the lows on too low, and following that on, it's on to the next. A great show of unity from the players on social media, of course. But let's not forget, this isn't just Gateshead we're talking about today. Rochdale as well. They are 9 points off the playoff spots, and today, if they've got any real chance of trying to get into those playoffs in a late run, today they need to pick up points, Mark.
100%, yeah, I agree with that. I think looking at the side, we can see there's a lot of pace in there. There's a lot of power in there. They've got some really clever midfielders in the ball, a little bit similar to Gateshead as well, with the likes of Whelan and Francis. They all come here thinking they can win the game, and rightly so, because I think they're far better than the league position suggests to me.
Well, in the league fixture, we're down at Rochdale. Kane Hayes was absolutely electric in the first half, and we know that he'll definitely be a danger man. He'll be wanting to find himself in the right position at the right time. And Devante Rodney, of course, he's got a bit of a reputation in the North East. His time at Hartlepool with 2 famous goals to help them stay up. And I say he's an older player now, much travelled, and he's had a fair bit of success as well.
Yeah, it'd be a threat when that pace getting him behind. And you mentioned those goals that he scored for Pools. I just think Gateshead are just going to have to be at it today. Simple as that. Not just with Devante Rodney, but with the entire forward line. I think that there's a lot of power and pace in there. So the likes of your Richardsons and Tinklers and Stories, they're going to have to be at it. And I also want to make a point of the 2 wing backs, and Kane Adom and Luke Cannon are going to have to work both ways throughout this game.
Definitely, and we'll have to see how they go. I'm just going to a little bit of housekeeping here for me and Mark. Do you want to unplug that heater? Because it's a lot warmer than what I thought. I'll do it 1 second. It's a lot warmer than I thought it was going to be. We're cooking ourselves here underneath the commentary table. So I'll quickly lift that up before the team comes out. If Mark's got stronger fingers than me. There we go. We're at the races. The teams are about to come out. Apologies for that little heater talk, but I'm cooling down now. I was red hot.
I don't think anyone's really bothered, are they?
I don't think they are. But as I say, the music is starting. The teams are in the tunnel, and we're moments away from Gateshead versus Rochdale, Vanarama National League. It's all to play for, and both teams really do need the 3 points for similar reasons. One to get in and one to stay. And that is the state of play here at Gateshead International Stadium this afternoon. It's nice and, as I say, it's a nice, pleasant day here. It does feel like a spring day, unlike Tuesday night. But Rob Elliott has come out, and he's getting a round of applause as well from the Tyne Wear stand. We just need the teams, and we'll be all set to go for kickoff. And exciting times, Mark. This is it. You'd rather be involved than not be involved at this stage of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we go back 12 months and you think where Gateshead were, it's that sort of making their way out with the relegation battle and towards mid-table, picked up serious momentum throughout that spell. If they can do that the same this season, then it could be a very exciting end to the campaign.
Well, the teams are being led out by the officials. Ed Francis wearing the captain's armband for Gateshead. Ebanks Landell, captain for the visitors. This is how the visitors line up. Jacob Chapman in goal, Kyron Gordon, Cameron John, Ryan East, Ethan Ebanks Landell, Cairo Mitchell, Devante Rodney, Jimmy Cohane, George Nevitt, Kane Hayes, and Harvey Gilmore. On the bench is Therese Sinclair, Adam Clayton, Dan Sassy, Finley Armstrong, and Sam Mather. For Gateshead, this is how the Tynesiders line up this afternoon. Nathan Hayes in goal, Robbie Tinkler, Kenton Richardson, Louis Story, Kane Adam, Luke Hannon, the captain Ed Francis, Regan Booty, Callum Whelan, Kieran Evans, and Dejon Brown. On the bench is Tom Allen, Marcus Denanga, Greg Ollie, Ben Warman, and Joe Grace. And they're going through the handshakes now. The visitors, for our audio listeners, they're in a bright yellow strip. A little bit reminiscent of an early 90s.
Dave, that's really weird. I was just thinking that.
Norwich? Is what you're thinking now?
Similar,
Yes, so there we go. Yeah. Norwich, where it is, but it's a nice bright strip. And Gateshead, of course, in their white and black Patrick strips. And we're all set here. The Tyne stand is nicely filled up here. Great Good Friday crowd for the Easter weekend. And Gateshead looking to get themselves another 3 points with what's already been a fantastic week thus far. But the teams are about to get into a little bit of a huddle before the captains go to the officials for the coin toss. We'll find out which way we are shooting. This Tyne stand to our right and left is filled up very nicely here. Hopefully another big crowd. It was nearly 2,500 or over 2,500 with a large contingent from Hartlepool. Good travelling fans from Rochdale, but you would hope in this home end there's 1,000 plus, and we can get a good 1,500 crowd here today. But we are swapping sides.
What's going on here?
Yeah, so Rochdale fancies shooting towards the River Tyne, and Gateshead will be shooting towards the Felon end. As
we should say shooting towards the River Tyne end.
Yes,
not towards the River
Tyne. Yeah, there's no need to be pedantic. As Nathan Hayes is having to make his way. Harness, sorry, I'm saying Hayes. Harness, yes, is making his way over there, and. Both teams in a huddle. It's that time of year when you've got to pump each other up. Everyone's got the unity going. And Gateshead, no different to anybody else as or Rochdale. But we are just a few moments away from kickoff, and the sun is out on the pitch. Hopefully, we've got a bright game ahead of us.
Gateshead kickoff.
There we are. So it is going to be Gateshead are going to get us underway. As Regan Booty stands over the ball in the penalty spot.
It does look exactly the same setup, doesn't it? With Tinkler in the centre of that three at the back.
Yeah.
Richardson left-hand side and Louis Story right-hand side.
And Adam on the right-hand side as well. Hannon on the right-hand side, which I expect that to be a bit fluid throughout the game, changing wings.
Great turnout, you're saying it. Now it's looking like a great turnout on the far side there from Rochdale
really
fans.
Good. We can hear them just on the far side. But we're underway as Ed Francis pings the ball up towards this right channel. Headed away. Whelan keeps it in up towards Dejon Brown, who nods it. Back to Whelan, chests it down. Gateshead passing it around midfield at the moment with Francis. Lovely little bit of footwork and fouled. Free kick about 40 yards out.
Lovely touch that, wasn't it?
Yeah. I said there was a lot of attention on the two assists from Ed Francis on Tuesday night.
Rightly so.
And it even tricked me on one of them. I thought he was going to go for a long-range shot, but it was just lofted over for both Dejon Brown and Whelan. Identical goals.
I think one of them got a little touch though, didn't it? So,
yeah.
Do we take that off him?
No, we'll not take that off him. But Francis and Evans stand over the ball for this free kick. Evans is the one to loft it in towards the back post, but there isn't anybody challenging. Kane Adam goes over there to try and disrupt, and the ball goes out to play on the far side for a throw-in. And I see another long throw from Regan Booty. We've seen a few of those on Tuesday night. And it comes. He's aiming it towards Story, who didn't get off the ground. The ball will be cleared now by Rochdale, and Kent Richardson can pick it up just inside the Rochdale half. Gateshead just passing it around, back to Richardson. At the moment, Gateshead just settling into their pattern of playing. Comfortable passing, back to Harness.
Really, really high line, by the way, from Rochdale.
Yeah, it is. They're practically on the halfway line, the back four. Ball over the top, and Gateshead trying to exploit that as Kane Adam on a foot race, gets past his man with his... Oh, well. He did well to marshal the ball away from him there, but I thought he was just going to get away. But Gateshead win the ball back in midfield.
Great intent, isn't it, already from Gateshead?
But that is as you say, that is a very, very high line. And with the pace of Dejon Brown and Kane Adam, just to name two, it's a dangerous game to play.
Same way, you look at Evans in that little number 10 role that he's taken up. I mean, you know, he's more than capable of making a late running behind as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Well, it's nearly a back five, isn't it, from Rochdale at the moment. There's seen the midfield move to try and a poor ball from Harness has been intercepted from the forward line of Rochdale as Rodney turns, puts it out to, well, he didn't, Gateshead
no ball
intercept, and now a ball forward, just deflected. But Gateshead tried to get it away as Hannon now just dinks it over the top, and Evans will be offside if he gets to this. He is. There's the flag up. And Gateshead trying to play some of the similar balls of what they did on Tuesday night. And just waiting for someone to sit down so we can see. As now we're back underway. Ball played up by Rochdale, playing it around midfield as East puts it across. And now going for a ball through the centre. Rodney couldn't get to it, but the ball goes all the way through. I think you might have just nicked that on there to East. And now they're trying to get the ball in and around. There's going to be a shot from the edge of the area. East to nod it down. Appeals for handball. Offside flag goes up. But the referees didn't see it, and the game's carried on. But Gateshead get the ball back, and the ball goes out for a Gateshead throw. A little bit of lack of communication there, but the referee let it play on.
I think because the ball's come off a Gateshead player.
Yeah.
In which case, the referee's right.
Well, Gateshead trying to build on the far side. Richardson receives the ball back from Adam, back to Harness.
Really is a high press, isn't it, from Rochdale?
Yeah. We're waiting for the ball to come on the far side, played forward, but just see the high press is working somewhat for Rochdale at the moment. There's a couple of passes that they've been able to block.
I think Ken Richardson there just trying to make sure that
the ball
Harness was awake. Fired that ball back at the goalkeeper.
No. There's now Richardson on the far side, plays the ball up to Dijon Brown. It gets to Evans. Evans gets back to Dijon and just couldn't get past the two players as they're coming together. And Dijon Brown fell on another player there, and a free kick's being given. It is Gilmore that's down there. He just a clumsy fall. It wasn't a tackle of any intent, or it wasn't even a tackle. It was just a fall.
Big lad, Dijon Brown as well. So I bet that hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you just hope his studs weren't buried into the ground there because it was on the knee. He's back up though and moving. Hopefully he'll be all right. I'm always worried after that tackle on Greg Ollie when I say the player's all right after that. But 6 minutes gone here, 0-0. And Gateshead, a bit more possession of the ball, but Rochdale just starting to try and find their feet. As John puts the ball over the top, looking for the run of Rodney. And throw it to Gateshead. Ball back to Harness. Harness puts it out to Story, who's hugging the right-hand touchline. Tinkler goes for a ball over the top. Dijon brings it down, lays it off to Whelan, who just in turn puts it across to Booty, and Gateshead can bring the ball forward. Didn't get through to Adam, and now Rochdale can try and break on the far side. Nice footwork, and well, as I say, Hayes went down, and now they're trying to put the ball out here to Keohane, who slows it down, plays it inside.
It's funny that both sides just little wayward passes every now and then.
Yeah,
getting in promising situations and just not making that right pass and not putting the right weight on it at the moment. But both working hard.
Rochdale using the ball around the back at the moment. Back to the keeper, Chapman, who played it into the middle. And now East can bring it forward, plays it to Rodney. Rodney under pressure, does get it to a teammate, and John gives it to Cohen. There's a man wanting it in the middle.
He should have got it as well. It's Cairo Mitchell.
And ball goes out, play for a throw to Rochdale, just in front of the Gateshead dugout. Now the throw has been taken. Is East under pressure from Evans.
Really good.
have to play it forward. East gets the ball back to John, passing it around. Well,
really good from both sides.
Good pressure, but the ball come off Whelan there, and it's another throw to Rochdale. John just slowing it down somewhat with these throws, isn't he? He's not in a massive hurry. Launches it up, and ball goes all the way through. Mitchell loses out to Story, and Story's little touch inside to Francis gets Gateshead moving the ball. Richardson to Tinkler. As Gateshead just trying to find their way through. I don't know if they're intentionally looking to get the ball over the top or through the centre, but that's a lovely touch from Whelan to Evans. Evans, was he fouled? Referee says no, and
if he's got a touch on the ball, maybe.
Yeah.
That at first sight, and obviously we don't have replays, looked like there was something in that. But,
yeah. As I say, he must have won the ball because it was from behind. Credit to him. Chapman. Clearance nodded down by Story to Harness. But nobody appealed, did there, from the incident that was just before there.
Handball.
So the referee says not handball, and Gateshead trying to pick up this ball in midfield, but East can bring it forward. He puts it into Ed Francis. He's going to give the free kick. I can't believe that. Well, referee is getting applauded by the Rochdale manager.
That was a curious one. Looked amazing. Ed Francis was brought down, but
we're not blessed with replays, so we can't really comment. But
ball
on the far side to Hayes, and Hayes
ball.
now can try and conjure something up. He's got down towards the dead ball line, cuts back on himself, lays it off. In comes the delivery towards Rodney. Rodney didn't get the connection he wanted. It's been cleared by Gateshead, and Brown, just gets in front, brought down. And, well, I don't think it'll be a yellow, but he had to do that.
He did. Yeah, he did. Really good from Brown there, just getting in front of his man and holding the ball up.
I think there's a case of the defender waiting for the ball to come to him.
Well,
he should have took that on.
Very much. Pretty strange start.
Ball to try and pick out Kane Adam on the far side. Booty gonna get there, plays it off the Rochdale player, and it comes back as Haynes plays it back. And now the ball over the top looking for Mitchell. And ball played back to Harness. Gateshead just doing their familiar patterns and playing their way out of any danger.
I do think they're looking at the early ball as well, this high line.
Well, Francis just passes it out to Story. Evans turns, and first thing he does is looks up to see who's in front of him. It's Whelan, and now Gateshead can try and bring the ball into the final third as Whelan plays it in the centre to Francis. Francis looking up, he's looking for a runner or someone in space. So a Story back to Tinkler.
Literally everyone except Jacob Chapman in the Rochdale half.
Harness.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
It's normally me that makes some mistakes.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'll let you off. But Gateshead still just passing it around. But
we'll call that late season weariness.
Yeah. Rochdale starting to try and push Gateshead back a little bit, and it's worked to an extent. It's back with Harness.
Yeah, Gateshead not being rushed, are they? Just taking their time here.
Yeah.
Really highlight still in place.
A ball over the top looking for Dejon Brown. Ball headed clear, needs to be picked up in midfield, and Gateshead do. As Francis gets it to Whelan. Whelan looks up, he's got Hannant in space, who he uses. And now Gateshead just slow it down again as Whelan tried to do that familiar run that we've seen many a time on Tuesday night. But Story has the ball back from Hannant. It's all inside the Rochdale half at the moment. Francis picks out Evans, one-on-one with the keeper, goes to the curl and slipped as he went to kick it. It was nearly a carbon copy of a goal on Tuesday night. Just got into that space, just couldn't get the connection, and, well, positive signs.
Really positive, yeah. Just having to be patient on the Gateshead here, and it's a great run from Evans. We've seen that a few times in recent weeks, but, the first real sign of intent, I think.
It's a strange thing. It's a lovely flowing thing that Gateshead have got, where you've either got Whelan or Evans just ghosting into those areas, and it's hard for the defenders to know which one to pick up. Right. Well by Story, Gateshead have the ball now.
It's almost like they're playing 2 number 10s, isn't it?
It kind of, yeah. It's an interesting one with Booty and Francis maybe sitting a little bit deeper to mop things up if the second ball is cleared. But Gateshead once again build from the back. Tinkler. Story peels off to this right-hand side. Evans had peeled into the centre there, but the ball has went back to Harness, who 45 yards out puts a ball over the top, and just for a second I thought the ball was going to spin away from the goalkeeper, but it goes all the way through to Jacob Chapman. 14 minutes gone, it's still 0-0 here at Gateshead Stadium. Open game. Gateshead maybe had the better of the ball. We haven't seen any cast iron chances to make the goalkeepers work as of yet. But Rochdale, they're still trying to play the ball as well. Similar to Gateshead when they're in possession.
Good win.
But Gateshead win the ball in midfield, and now Kane Adam can go down the left-hand side. He's up against Gordon. Oh, Booty on the underlap, pulls across in. Oh, too much on it, and Jacob Chapman just plucks that out the air, the big Australian.
I think Regan Booty had one of his best games for Gateshead on Tuesday, and I thought he was excellent. Obviously, he got the goal, but I thought apart from that, he's playing midfield was outstanding.
I mean, I know it's hard not to come out with a classic footballing phrase, but he's a very underrated player, and his past charts earlier in the season showed that, you know, what he brings to the side, that maybe it isn't the pretty stuff, but it's the stuff that just keeps the team ticking, and that's what you need. As Francis pings it to Richardson there, and now Gateshead, that high line, it's a worryingly high line for me. I would be very uncomfortable if it was my team doing that, but at the moment it's working to effect.
I think they're just trying to condense the play as much as possible and try and limit the space that the likes of Ed Francis, Regan Booty have got.
It's an interesting thing because we've seen teams come here to play against Gateshead and stifle them in different ways. Of course, I'm trying to think who it was that came and played. Was it Solihull that came and played some beautiful football? They showed you could do it without parking the bus. We've seen teams park the bus literally and not come out of their own half. But Rochdale, slightly different way. We haven't seen the very high line to try and counter Gateshead.
I think the one that we saw do was Wheelstone in what I thought was one of the best games of the season, if I'm honest. Here, Cratton, basically two sides playing the same style of football, similar to this.
Yeah.
So it's at the moment it's working, and Gateshead have got to unpick the lock here.
Yeah, without a doubt. But as we've said a lot of times, teams that come here with a purpose, they're staying very disciplined. They're holding a fantastic shape. It's not committing too many men forward at all, but it's you know that Hayes and Rodney and Mitchell will pounce on anything if they get the chance.
It is, yeah, exactly. And you look at it again. I've said it before, but the pace in this front three from Rochdale is going to cause problems if they get a run at the Gateshead defence. It's a patient game at the moment.
We're just waiting for someone to make the move to create the space as Francis gives it back to Richardson. Oh, sorry, now Richardson's got it. It was Booty. Richardson goes for a ball through the centre, and I think Whelan, he's brought the ball down well. Oh, lays it inside to Rod. Oh, to Dejon Brown. It was just taken away. But once again, we're seeing silky stuff from Gateshead in the final third.
Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? And I think it's going to be that sort of ball that's going to unlock this defence.
Well, we're back underway as Story has the ball, gives it to Tinkler, who's just inside the centre circle. Richardson.
Just want a little bit more on that pass, didn't you?
That's the warning signs of the high line. If you get the right ball through and the right run. But Tinkler just his foot on the ball. They're wanting somebody to commit, aren't they? And Rochdale are doing a fantastic job of not over-committing. They're holding the shape well and making Gateshead really work for it. But Kane Adam gets a ball on the left-hand side, gets past his man. Well, does it come off for a throw into Gateshead?
Nobody had a clue.
Nobody had a clue there. They both guessed the same way there. Gateshead throw.
Some car keys have been handed in the Channel Weir survey area. If you suspect that these car keys belong to you, please tell the nearest steward, and arrangements will be made for you to collect them.
Tinkler receives the ball inside his own half. Story shows for him on this side, as does Richardson on the far side. Richardson to Booty. Booty inside to Francis. We're seeing a little bit of pressure there on.
Yeah, and what you're also seeing is Regan Booty is trying to make this pitch as big as possible and trying to stretch the midfield of Rochdale, but they are remaining so disciplined. They've been very good so far in limiting Gateshead space. I do think the early ball at the top is what will unpick them, though.
Evans gives it to Tinkler and turn to Harness, and you see on the other side of the coin, Gateshead are going to have to be concentrated on these passes because one stray one leaves them wide open.
We've already seen it.
Yeah,
we've seen a couple of passes early on, maybe not in the last 10 minutes, but certainly in the first 5 or 10 minutes we had that, where you saw Gateshead just miss timing passes and putting themselves on the back foot.
Ball through the centre there, finds Kane. Adam, offside flows. Well, complaints from the home fans for the offside decision there. I mean, just as well, because the first touch had just went off his heel there, but free kick taken, slipped as he took it up towards Keown.
There was literally man behind him as well.
Yeah. So at the moment, Gateshead still, you would say, up on the possession at the moment, but they need to make that count. And Rochdale being resolute and just waiting for the chance to come, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, and it's going to come to later stages of the game if it's still like this, where Rochdale are going to have to go for it, as are Gateshead.
Well, I think I mentioned in Tuesday's commentary that, if Gateshead could get ahead, it would bring Hartlepool out.
Booty with the ball over the top, looking for Dejan Brown. He's going to get the ball. He's done very well. He's going to get a yellow card here, but he did seem to win the ball, but it's the follow-through that might have got this. It is the captain, Ebanks Landell, who's down. And, it was there to be won, the ball. The first yellow of the... no, it's not that's not the first yellow of the game. It is the first yellow of the game, yep.
Strange one. Again, we don't have replays,
yeah,
but it did look as if he got a touch.
We're just going off what we see initially, but there must have been some contact. Of course, the referee's got the added thing of sound as well, if he's hearing studs connect and things like that, and closer on the pitch to what we have. Lovely turn by Hayes on the far side, plays the ball through to Mitchell, and the ball, as a player goes down off the ball there. And
he's probably got a case to bring that back for free kick.
Yes, I know. I think Tinkler just got caught there, but Tinkler's holding his back. Hopefully he's all right. He's back up on his feet, but that was an off the ball collision and could have been pulled back.
I think that was a Rochdale free kick.
Yeah. Well, Tinkler seems to be moving all right now. There's a ball across to Booty. Richardson back to Tinkler. 21 minutes gone. If you're just joining us, 0-0 here.
No real goal scoring chances, are there?
Not as yet.
Half-sighted goal for Evans. Kieran Evans.
And he lost his footing as he went to. We've seen a few players lose a little bit of footing this afternoon, but I think that's just coincidence. The pitch looks in decent shape. It hasn't been watered heavily. Dejan Brown, lovely turn. Can he distribute this ball? Hannant out. He comes to the right-hand side. He's got Adam on the far side. Whelan and Dejan Brown in the middle. Whelan has the ball. Has to lay it off. Gives it to Evans. Story gets it camped out on the edge of the box. Inside to Whelan. Whelan's going to pass it to himself here. Crosses the ball in. Dejan Brown couldn't get it. Adam on the volley.
Surely
and appeals for handball, and it's going to be cleared by Rochdale. And there's a player down injured at the moment. And can't see which number it is, but Gateshead, that was the best opportunity.
I mean, it looked to me as if the hand was up.
Yeah. Well, the referee's not telling the physio to come on.
Just a little reminder again, there was car keys which are being found. The car keys were handed in at the time and we served.
Interesting decision of Colin Whelan to pass the ball to himself. That was a novel approach.
I was half expecting him to be offside. Some players take this opportunity to take on some water and some instructions from the sub benches at the moment. And it's going to be a free kick inside the. Oh, no, he's a throw in here. So we're back underway. Harness. Story over the top looking for Dejan Brown. He's up against John. Wins the header. Whelan's going to pick up the second ball. Lovely touch to get it under control and just taken off from there by Gilmore. And Rochdale can try and build from the back themselves as Chapman pings the ball up towards Mitchell.
Oh, well played.
Mitchell guided it over there under pressure, but now Hayes, we can see what he can do here. He cuts around, goes round Richardson. Richardson, a great tackle, had to be made then because Hayes was away.
It's a great tackle, that, isn't it? Brilliant. He's just, jockeyed with the man and just waited and bided his time. You're right, David. It absolutely had to be a perfectly timed tackle, and it was. This will be dangerous, by the way. Big side.
And that has sprung the away fans into life on the far side. There we go. So we'll wait for this corner to come in. It's Hayes again that's going to take this corner.
Never in Story's having quite a scrap in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of tussling at the moment, and on the goal line there, it's been played short to East.
Oh,
back to Rodney. Rodney pokes it, but harness down. Wasn't going through with any pace, but there's the danger. That looked like a training ground move because Rodney pulled off into space beautifully there.
It was a really well worked move, and it was just the execution at the end was just not good enough. No conviction in the shot, and Gateshead maybe got away one a little bit there.
One thing I will say is, they're holding the shape very well, Rochdale, but they're not exerting that much. Well, as I say that, the commentators, because they're not using that much energy to chase the ball when it's moving around, but they pick it up in midfield now. Trying to just up the tempo somewhat for Rochdale.
He's got to be off.
As Gilmore is offside as he received the ball, he was about 2 yards off. It's a close one. As we're back underway, Tinkler across the Story. Yeah, we're just seeing the raising tempo from Rochdale now, just as I was saying those famous words that they weren't.
Yeah, they have definitely upped it, haven't they? There's more pressure going on the Gateshead back line now. They're not giving Tinkler and Story and Richardson anywhere near as much time on the ball. See Karen Mitchell now closing down Tinkler.
Yeah, we're just seeing that forward three just come alive a bit more now. They were sitting just happy for Gateshead to knock it around and try and get the way through the rest of the team. But now we're seeing them just trying to apply a little bit of pressure to make Gateshead work harder to get that ball higher up the pitch. As we're seeing the likes of
Callum
Whelan come out of this side. Very similar to what Booty was doing on the far side. Tinkler to Harness. A lot better from Rochdale at the moment. The passing has had to be crisp for Gateshead to try and get it forward, but they're still in their own final third at the moment. Played across to Tinkler.
It's almost like a game in 3/3 at the moment, isn't it? You've got this attack and press game going on here. The midfield is just moving all over the place, and then
ball over the top from Tinkler looking for the Dejan Brown, but John's there to head it, but Gateshead can pick up the loose ball. There's a pull on the shirt there. Referee doesn't give anything. Gateshead still in possession through Francis. Francis dinks the ball over towards Brown. Brown gets in front. He puts it in the back. Dejan Brown! Oh, the link up between himself and Ed Francis is just poetry in motion. And for the second game in a row, they have linked up beautifully.
It's that pass again. It's that pass. It's like a sand wedge, isn't it? Or pitching wedge in both. It's just a little dink over the top. It's such a lovely ball. And it's a great finish, It's not an easy finish.
That's a harder finish than what he had the other night. It was one touch and put in there. Beautiful stuff. But Dejan Brown continues his run in front of goal. And Gateshead find themselves 1-0 to the good. 27 minutes gone.
A lovely finish. It's an awkward height for him as well. And he's got to go for it. But he's got something on it. What form this kid's in. Unbelievable.
And ironically for Rochdale, it was when they had up the pressure as well.
But Gateshead found a way. We said they had to, and they found a way. And it's no surprise, given the form he's in, that it was Ed Francis that unpicked the lock.
Well, so we're at the 28th minute now. Just joined us 1-0 to Gateshead. Dejan Brown with yet another goal in Gateshead colours.
As Marcus Denanga comes out of one.
Yeah. Is that his 9th goal now for Gateshead?
I think so.
Dejan Brown. As the ball just goes back to Harness.
Is it 9 and 8?
I think it is, yeah. It's phenomenal when you think his first few appearances as well. There wasn't any goals in those sub-appearances.
Well, the other side, Dave, is we really do need to go back to the fact that it's his first experience of senior football. He's an under-18s footballer, really.
Yeah, it's first 8 games in men's football. It's a phenomenal start for him. Senior professional starts. As the ball goes through, and Kane Adam does get the ball under control. Gateshead pass it around, and with seeing the run of Kane Adam there, I think he might just be offside. Oh, it didn't go through to him, but Gateshead pick it up in midfield, put it out to Hannon here. Evans, the ball just didn't get through to him, but Whelan can pick it up. Hannon picks up the loose ball. There could have been a case for handball there, but now the ball over the top again as Dijon Brown brings it down. Booty nods it back to Brown. Evans lays it off to Booty, back to Evans. Evans inside the box, lays it out to Adam. This is great stuff from Gateshead that is passing it around, and Evans on the far side plays it back to Kenton Richardson, and Gateshead just passing this around for fun around the box at the moment, but can they make it pay? This would be the time to do so, as Francis tries to poke it through. Lovely flick. And Evans just wasn't in the right place there. Not from his own fault, but Gateshead win the ball back. And at the moment, Gateshead just passing it around. Adam on the far side runs the box, put the cross in. There's nobody there to deep. There's a good ball in. Ball will trickle out for a throw. And, that goal has definitely gave a lot of encouragement to the Gateshead forward line.
You mentioned, Dave, about the Rochdale clicking up a gear. I think you've just seen it from Gateshead as well. That passing's really starting to click into another gear now. Again, just need maybe more bodies in the box there for that cross coming in.
Well, half an hour gone here at Gateshead International Stadium, and Gateshead in front by 1 goal. But Rochdale will be looking to get themselves back into it, but not with passing like that. As foul off the ball there on Francis. He's rolling round, and Gateshead give the ball to Whelan, out to Hannant. Francis is back up now. He's not happy that the referee let that play on, but Gateshead still in possession. Just near the dugout. Gateshead, Hannant back to Tinkler. Francis gives it back to Tinkler and across to Richardson, who finds himself in space. He can carry this ball forward now and look to get the pass, but the Rochdale midfield closes it down.
It was a late challenge on Francis, and it was unnecessary.
Tinkler with little bit of footwork there. Nearly gives us a scare, but he's played it across to Harness. Francis, much like Tuesday night, has been given too much space to wander with the ball. There's a ball over the top, and there it is to pick out Hannant. But good defending from Cohen, and it goes out for a throw-in.
It's like watching a quarterback, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the only analogy I can think of, because he just seems to have the whole pitch in front of him looking for runners as the ball now tries to make its way through. It's fell back to Dijon Brown on the edge of the box. Whelan puts it out to Richardson.
It's just relentless at the moment from Gateshead.
Evans, lovely little touch to Francis. The ball.
He took him again.
Well, now he's pulled it back. That's the second or third time Francis has been caught late after he's distributed the ball. And this one is about 25 yards out, very central here, but I think it's enough over towards the left-hand side of the day to maybe get a bit of a whip on it. But Francis and Evans stand over it. There's discussions going on. Louis Story's there as well, but Francis is the one placing it down.
Given the one that he hit on Tuesday that hit the boy, you wouldn't be surprised if Francis takes this on.
Yeah.
Possibly a little bit closer on Tuesday.
Yeah, he's really lining himself up for this one, Ed Francis.
Big wall as well.
Words out my mouth, Mark. They're a big side, Rochdale. Francis steps up, nice whip on it, but there's Chapman just to scoop that into his chest.
Pretty comfortable.
Yeah. So he got it up and over well, but it's maybe just that little bit too central to really test the goalkeeper. Grant Landell was under pressure there, and the ball comes off Adam on the far side for a throw, level with the corner of the box on the far side. And at the moment, Gateshead just keeping their momentum up and keeping Rochdale in their own half.
I still think there's a real threat here, from Rochdale.
Yeah, I think Hayes is going to be the man that can unlock something, either beating the defence himself or opening it up with a run. He's just over on that far side, hugging the touchline, isn't he? But at the moment, Cohen puts it through, and Rodney Haynes is quickly out to pass it out the Story there. He's definitely in the Gateshead mould of a goalkeeper at the moment, isn't he? The way he calmly passes that ball around attackers. Francis now sees the runner of Kane Adam. The defender had already set his run away there. It was going to be a hard one all the way through to Chapman. Oh. The nervous excitement here at the 10 minutes. You don't know what's going to happen next. It's can Gateshead settle it a bit more with another goal, or can Rochdale get themselves into it? But there's Francis again, back to help out. Booty sees the runner from Whelan here, but John, good defending, got himself in front of the man and sees it back to the keeper. Well, both wing backs have done pretty well with those balls, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's been a fascinating battle so far, to be honest.
Rodney brings it down, lays it off. East. And play it back to Nevitt. East gets the ball back to Nevitt. It's a very similar pattern of play with Gateshead, but they just haven't had as much possession.
Like I say, two very good footballing sides, exactly the sort of game I thought it would be.
Ball forward out to Hayes, the man on the far side, as he tries to open up against Richardson, but runs into trouble. But the ball falls to a teammate that dinked ball through, reminiscent of what Francis has been doing in recent games. There's the danger, Mark. If they get a good bit of space, they'll be able to use that to good effect.
Yeah, very much. You can see the threat that they pose in the sort of final third. Again, a little bit like Gateshead, it's about unpicking the lock, and I keep saying it, but it is. That's what Rochdale have to do here. I think it'll come from wide areas. Their main threat, as you said.
Oh, and ball just rolls out of play. Story uncharacteristically didn't control it there. It happens. It happens. Cameron John with the throw. And, well, free kick given there. Quickly taken by John up on his feet. Nevitt. He banks it down with a probing ball into the box there. Rodney was on his toes, but keeper managed to get there in front of him. Gateshead building from the back again. Tinkler. Harness with a ball up towards Dejan Brown.
Brilliant.
Beautifully brought it down. And there's a foul, and that was been played on.
Good advantage
here. A ball out to Hannon. Hannon puts the ball in.
They need to play it.
And, I think Rochdale defenders just need to be a little bit careful there.
I do wonder if you might go back and maybe book them there, because it was a poor challenge.
Well, he's talking to the fourth official and the linesman there on his
good spot, Dave.
Yeah, but nothing given there. I mean, it hasn't been that type of game. It's just a bit of a heavy tackle.
Might be a talking to.
Well, Harness just taking his time. Richardson plays it back to Harness.
He's asking for something. He's not getting it.
Tinkler. Well, Tinkler gets past Mitchell, lays it back to Richardson. Francis just drops deep into that centre-back position there. Carries the ball forward. Story's in space here on the near side. Goes through to Evans. Evans with a lovely little flick to Story. And Gateshead on the halfway line with Whelan. Francis picks out Hannant. Back to Francis. Ball over the top for Dejan Brown, and offside flag was coming up. It's a lovely finish, though.
That's the sort of ball that's going to do it, though. I think that's what Gateshead, maybe you can't do it every time, because then Rochdale they'll become aware of it. But I think that's the ball that might catch
Yeah,
them.
I know we've been singing Dejan Brown's praises a lot, and his goals have been absolutely fantastic. But how many times has he brought the ball down under pressure today, and against very good, experienced defenders? He's been more than a match for them so far.
That's not foul. That's not.
Gateshead win the ball on the far side. Francis has appeals from the far side. The away fans not happy with that one. As the sun beams down on the pitch here, Gateshead National Stadium.
Turn.
Francis has got way too much time to turn and run with the ball. This is where he's dangerous. There wasn't a runner. They went a little bit narrow, Gateshead's forward line there. Now they've went wide as they come out with the ball. Come up a little bit too quick for them, but Adam picks it up in midfield.
Good ball.
Whelan gets it to Francis. Now Story. Francis plays it through. There's Evans, gets it to Whelan. Whelan, lovely footwork from Gateshead's number 4. And Booty on the edge area goes for a shot and scooped it up off his foot as soon as he hit it. The 39 minutes gone here at Gateshead International Stadium. It's Gateshead 1, Rochdale 0. Dejan Brown with the goal. Ed Francis with the assist. Gateshead have the ball in midfield. Back to Tinkler. Francis gets the ball to Richardson. And he pings the ball back to Harness, who brings it down to his knees and lays it off to Tinkler. And Gateshead just dispossessed. Hayes wins the ball, does well, but his ball inside wasn't the greatest. And a free kick's being given. I think there's Booty that caught him after the ball was played there. I was following the ball. I just seen the man go down afterwards.
It was a foul. It was just a lazy challenge. He just hung the leg out, I think. Dangerous this one because it'll be whipped in towards Harness.
And what a time it would be to get a leveller here for Rochdale, of course. We're into the final 5 minutes here of the first half. And there's a lot of height in there. Mitchell Nevitt up there as well, as is the captain, Ebanks Liddell.
I think we've got something planned here.
It's
2 men edge of the box, one standing right hand side.
Somebody's being moved.
Man back post on his own.
In it comes, and it's going to go towards that back post.
It's
but
really, really, really disappointing. That's so frustrating. It must be for the Rochdale coaching staff. It's a perfect. You said it, Dave. 5 minutes for half time. Great chance to get back in the game, and that delivery has just killed them.
Yeah. Give John no chance to it there when he was going for it. Tinkler gives it to Harness on the goal kick. Goes long now up towards Dejan Brown. Ball over his head as it goes over Ebanks Landell.
I think Dejan Brown's got a case there for asking why Kane Adam wasn't anticipating the flick there. Even though he didn't win it, the ball's gone behind him. He was in on goal if he's anticipating.
Well, Chapman. Rochdale playing it out. Comes across to Cameron John. Nevitt plays it through the centre. Devante Rodney has dropped deep and Gateshead pick it up in midfield. Now Kane Adam just under pressure. Gilmore does very well, but Gateshead able to mop up at the back and lovely stuff from Tinkler. But that's that man again, Kyan Hayes. He's just there, isn't he? He's a real threat.
He looks the most likely to.
The ball over the top from Gates. It's going to go all the way through to Matty Jacob.
Sorry,
not Matty Jacob. Jacob Chapman. Sorry.
He looks the most likely going through loan players there.
Yeah.
He looks the most likely to get through this Gateshead defence. I think he's been a real threat that left hand side, giving Kenton Richardson a really difficult afternoon.
Ball from Rochdale goes all the way through to Harness, who rolls it out quickly to Story. Francis, there is going to be a run. He's just stopped his run there, Booty, and the ball's played back to Richardson. Booty. Francis puts the ball over the top, looking for the run of Adam. He's onside, and he's going to get to the ball in front of his man. Can he conjure something up from he cuts into the box. He's still got the ball. It was good defending from Gordon. And now the ball to Whelan does get there. Booty plays it back down to Richardson. Everyone inside the gate at half.
Chance to
At
put
the
this
moment,
in.
income.
Fine.
Forward line was waiting for the ball, but the cross wasn't forthcoming. Tinkler is out to the left-hand side. Booty, little flick to Adam, back. Didn't get back to Booty and cleared all the way back to Jacob Chapman.
It's 2 or 3 times now. Ken Adams been a little bit wasteful.
All over the top, looking for Mitchell. Mitchell brings it down, but there's Tinkler just to poke it back, and right place, right time there from Robbie Tinkler.
It's a great ball, brilliant ball. Just the first touch wasn't quite right there from Mitchell, but Tinkler's had a great game, by the way, in the middle.
Yeah,
of that defence so far.
Stephanie at Gateshead Stats, she's give us makes it 7 goals and 7 starts from Dejon Brown and 2 goals from a substitute appearance. Fantastic start. As Gateshead,
Regan Booty's in absolute acres of space, by the way.
Yeah. There's played out short to Tinkler. Well, Gordon Mannon's asking what the score is. It's 1-0 to Gateshead. Dejon Brown, and Dejon Brown running to get through on this. Nevitt tries to read the bounce and does very well to get in front of him.
Great defending that.
Ball up to Hayes, and his touch does go out.
It's almost at the stage where you don't need to say who scored, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just remarkable form the young lads in.
Gateshead, just as they have done all game, they're not in a rush to build from the back. They'll pass it around, try and draw Rochdale out of position and create those spaces. The Story pumps the ball over the top this time, looking for the run.
Don't think that's a
Kieran Evans, Nevitt has to do something with it here. He's touched, as he touched it, he has now. He's going to give it back to Chapman. Chapman takes a touch and plays it across. Booty tries to close down, and
that's brilliant. He's done really well there, by the way.
There's some good passing from Rochdale at the back under pressure as Nevitt plays it out to John. John looks to play this ball over the top, and lovely stuff from Tinkler. Just gets the ball right. He had a telescopic leg there, Robbie Tinkler. I don't know how he did it, but Mitchell left chasing the shadows for a second.
We haven't seen much of Luke Hannon so far, have we?
No, being very quiet.
That's not great.
Well, Mitchell off the ball. I think this could be...
Well, if Browns is a booking, that's a booking.
It's definitely a booking, but is it going to be a red card? Because that was just violence off the ball.
Paul Magny is absolutely foaming about something. I don't think it's a tackle either, by the way.
It isn't.
It's a passage of play.
Yeah. Well, I think we are going to see a yellow card here. I didn't see 1 minute of added on time here at the end. Yeah, it is going to be a yellow card for Cairo Mitchell.
I get notified for change in circumstances, I believe that the car keys that were found in the Tyne-Weir Surbury area are still to be claimed.
Would you like a new car, Mark?
Yeah, go on then. We'll see that's what make it is first.
If it's a Jaguar, I think I might take it. I have to have a full tank, of course, as the ball from Harness goes all the way through, wasted one. We're into that minute, but there has been a stoppage, so it's probably going to go to about 47 minutes here, you would think. But at the minute, Gilmore plays the ball up to Rodney, who holds it up well. Gateshead just managed to wrestle it away from Rochdale, and it's played all the way back to Chapman. Clears the ball. Good kick from the former Gateshead loanee. Story plays it back to Harness. And his kick is up in the air, and it's going to get caught in the wind a little bit there. As Rodney gets it to East. Must have been a good touch that we couldn't see it for the sub bench, but Rochdale, do they have one final attack left in this first half?
There we go.
There we go. There is the half-time whistle. Gateshead going 1-0 to the good. That man, Dejon Brown, but it was that man, Ed Francis, with the assist. He's getting very good at these little lobs into the box, defying everybody. But Gateshead are enjoying them, and 1-0 to the good. And Mark, you've got to give Rochdale their credit. They've held their shape very well. They've been very resolute throughout. But they're going to have to be a little bit more adventurous in the second half.
Yeah, I think you might see that. They'll stay in the game for as long as they can, and then come out and have a right go at Gateshead. You would imagine if Gateshead get the second goal, then It'll just give them a little bit of breathing space. But it's been a great first half. It hasn't been a thrilling watch, but it's been a fascinating one.
It's definitely been two teams feeling each other out all the way through, and it's quite the intriguing battle, as you say. But we are going to go quiet for about 10 minutes. We'll be back before the teams come out in the second half. Big thank you to everyone that has joined us on National League TV, of course, and of course on the audio stream on the Heed Army podcast. If you'd like to leave us a subscribe and a like, that would be absolutely fantastic. And join us next Thursday as well. We'll be recapping this game and the game on Bank Holiday Monday away to Field, and of course previewing that FA Trophy semi-final at home to Rochdale. So do be part of it, and we'll be back with you very, very soon. Hello there, welcome back to the second half here. I'm just going to go through some half-time scores here, and we'll let you know what is going on in and around the National League. Of course, 1-0 here to Gateshead at the moment, but this is the scores in and around. It is Borehamwood 1, Dagenham Redbridge 4, which is a big score. Dorking 0, Bromley 1. It's Ebbsfleet United 0, Southend United 1. Of course, there's Gateshead fixture here. We've just read that one. And Hartlepool on 0-0 against Halifax at home. It's 1-1 between Kidderminster Harriers and Altrincham. Maidenhead are winning 2-0 at home to Aldershot. Oldham 1, AFC Fylde 3. Gateshead travel to AFC Fylde on Bank Holiday Monday. Oxford 1, Wealdstone 0. Is that just... as that scoreline stands, is that just extending their stay in the National League just by another weekend or another game? Barnet 2, Solihull Moors 1, that's at Solihull. Woking 0, Eastleigh 1, and York City 0, Chesterfield 1, the champions. Mark, some interesting scorelines to go through. I don't think it'll stay as is. I think there's goals in all of these games, including our own here. It's a typical football season playing out right till the very end.
Yeah, I think both ends of the table are in for a fascinating final months, aren't they? You look at, obviously Chesterfield done and dusted, but beyond that, I mean, there's so many teams can get in those playoffs. Obviously, Gateshead including that, and Rochdale including that, if they can turn things around second half here. But the bottom end of the table, it's starting to get to that stage now where you can see nerves are fraying at clubs. And I mean, Borehamwood being in amongst after what has been a brilliant spell and Luke Garrard, playoffs and
FA Cup runs.
Yeah. And it's kind of sad to see it because managers like him. I mean, it's not so long ago he was tipped to go into Football League with clubs, and I think a couple of clubs had a sniff at him.
Oh, from the outside looking in, you would say maybe he's just been a little bit too loyal to the players that he had during the good, the cup runs and the playoff pushes, as you say, and maybe they've just aged out, as it were. There's some fantastic players there, of course. Jamal Fifield, former Gateshead player, who very fond of, fantastic player, but of course at the latter stages of his career, and it's always a do or die thing, isn't it? To maybe get rid of players that have done you well over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of understandable. I think the best manager ever, isn't he? But the best manager in judging players in the sell-by dates was Sir Alex Ferguson, wasn't it? You look at in the 90s when the likes of
don't think you ever got it wrong. I think people might say Yapstam, but apart from that, I think he never really lost a player at the height, did he?
And I mean, you look at it and think with Luke, I mean, there's a lot of very, very good players in that squad, and like Shamanga going back there on loan and stuff like that. And
yeah, I mean, obviously that
just hasn't clicked, has it?
It hasn't yet, but they're still in and around the safety of getting out of there, but they'll need to turn it around either this afternoon or on Bank Holiday Monday when the other lot of fixtures are going to happen. And at the moment, we are here at Gateshead. It's 1-0 to Gateshead. Dejon Brown latching onto another ball through from the captain, Ed Francis. And Gateshead, well, it's been a comfortable performance from Gateshead. And you would say maybe the same from the visitors as well. We haven't really been making the goalkeepers work too hard, but it has been a strategic 45 minutes in the first half with both teams trying to find those pockets and make those spaces.
Yeah, we were just talking to our counterparts here from Rochdale and saying that it's two similar sides, patient style of play, having to resolve issues really in unlocking defences. I think looking at Rochdale, they will have to come out and force the issue a little bit, whether that opens up space at the back for Gateshead to expose a little bit like Tuesday night, remains to be seen. But it's going to be a fascinating second half.
Well, we're seeing the Rochdale players. They're out first. They're going through a bit of a different warm-up. They're lining up like British Bulldog there and having a little sprint forward. But Rob Elliott is back out from the changing room, and we await the Tynesiders to come back out for the second half. And, we hope everyone that is tuned in, whether you're on National League TV or on audio stream on Heed Army Podcast YouTube channel, we thank you for your company this afternoon. But we've got a big 45 minutes ahead of us for both sides here. Can Rochdale get back into it, or can Gateshead extend their lead? But Ed Francis brings the boys back out for the second half as the Tyne-Wear stand starts to fill up again after people getting their half-time refreshments. It's all set to happen here, all live. You won't miss a kick, and you've got enough time just to put that kettle on or get yourself a cool beverage, because the linesmen and the referees are back out, and we're moments away from kick-off here in the second half.
Plenty of options for both sides on the bench, and you look and Gateshead. We speak about Denanga, top goal scorer, Greg Ollie, captain. Joe Grayson, Ben Warman's hit form. Tom Allen's got back to fitness. But on the bench for Rochdale as well. Terry Sinclair can come off and do some damage.
Adam Clayton, he speaks for himself, his experience. You've got Grayson who can play anywhere across the back as well. It's strength in depth, and as I say, there's still players that aren't even on the bench that you would consider in for contention for being in this squad. So for Gateshead, it's looking rosy, but for Rochdale, they'll be wanting to get themselves back into this game and to keep any hope of a playoff push alive here in the back end of the season. This is the sixth last league game of the season, and it's all to play for as Whelan pumps the ball back up to Chapman in the Rochdale goal. People still teaming in from the concourse. And Rochdale just playing out from the back. Gilmore plays it back to Chapman.
Good press from Gateshead.
Very similar style of play, of course, from Rochdale. And they're trying to build on the far side. Ball forward. That's from really East. Really and good. Now Rodney can turn. If he looks up, Hayes is on this side, but Harness is out there off his line quickly to stop that ball coming through all the way back to Chapman. But if you look at Hayes, he's just absolutely on his toes, ready to go, isn't he?
Yeah, and I mean, the four sort of across the forward line were there, and Gateshead holding that high line. I mean, it's going to be a threat setting off that. I think they're going to look to do what they've done there and play into Mitchell and try and play off him.
Mitchell,
good feet.
Good feet, but Francis is there, and Adam had to go. He didn't know where it went, and the ball goes out. And I think it hasn't went out; it stayed in. Apologies there, as the captain Landell back. Ebanks Landell. I keep thinking of another player.
Ebanks Blake.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, for some reason. But obviously double barrel name, different. But Gateshead have the ball in midfield. Whelan just slows it down, gives it back to Francis. Story on the halfway line, and now to Tinkler. Oh, and the ball does make its way through. Well, Booty let it go out because Hayes did touch it. Throw into Gateshead just inside the Rochdale half here. Oh, he takes it in his own half. Oh. Giving yards back there, not stealing them. It's a rare thing to see from a throw-in.
Generous.
Story gives it to Tinkler. Back to Story. Whelan's in space on the far side. It's a touch. Inside to Francis and back to Harness. It's just getting back into the swings and throws of the way they play. Whelan practically playing like a wing back at the moment with the positioning.
Yeah, like I said, it's just trying to create a bit of space and try and pull Rochdale out of the shape here.
Ball up towards Brown. He got it to Whelan, but Whelan's touch was just a little bit heavy, but it's been picked up in midfield by Francis. Francis rolls it to, he lets it go through there. Booty to Adam. He's just committed a little bit early there. Gateshead passing it back around the back again. Mitchell trying to close down. So is Rodney. But Gateshead managed to keep the ball moving. First time ball over the top, and Gateshead, Brown is offside. The flag comes up. I don't think he was. I think Whelan might have been, but he wasn't the one that ran onto the ball. That's a very close one. No benefit of replays, so we have to agree, or we have no choice to agree with what the linesman says. But that was.
I'm not 100% sold on that decision. I've got to be honest.
I think Whelan might have been. I don't think Brown was, but Brown was the one that ran onto it. So we'll see in the highlights, no doubt. But at the moment, Nevitt plays it forward to Rodney.
It's well played.
Brings Gordon into play. Gordon plays the ball forward, looking for the run of Gilmore, and just couldn't control it. But Harness quickly out to get in front of Mitchell to get the ball. Now Francis carries the ball forward in midfield, out to Story. Just crosses the halfway line. Hannant. Back to Francis. Booty's in that area, ready to make a probing run if there's a ball forthcoming. But at the moment, Tinkler gives it to Richardson. Just on the halfway line here, on the right-hand side of the pitch. Left-hand side even. Richardson gets it back. Good pressure from Rochdale at the moment to stop them Gateshead from getting it too far forward, but they are staying in possession. Whelan chases the ball down, gets it to Hannant. Whelan receives it back, looks for the ball over the top. There's the run of Dejan and Booty, but East manages to poke it back to Cameron John. Brown trying to close down, back to Nevitt. Nevitt plays it back to Chapman.
His work rate's been excellent today, by the way, to John Brown.
It really has. It hasn't dropped at all, and he's still chasing the ball down as that ball there picked up by Gateshead in midfield. Francis, he's got Evans, back to Francis. Mitchell trying to close down, but Francis goes past, but Mitchell does very well to win it back, but so does Francis. And wow, free kick given there. Was that a pull on the shirt?
Yeah, he pulled him back, 100%.
Played in tight quarters at the moment.
I do wonder if you may see maybe Tom Allen for Kane Adams at some point in the second half.
Yeah, it hasn't been a game that he's had that much of an imprint on is it at all this afternoon. And maybe the same for Hannant. The wings haven't been utilised as much in this game, but Rodney picks it down and there's a free kick being given there on is it Hannant that was fouled on the far side? I think Rodney was just about to pull the trigger there.
I think it was for just basically contact in the air, wasn't it? But to me, I thought that was just challenging for the ball.
I didn't think it was going to be. I was following the ball. I went past it thinking it was a good tussle. But the ball up towards Kane Adam. It's going to go nodded out by Gordon. Oh, and somebody's done something with the stadium tannoy mic. It's went off now. Wasn't annoying at all. Story. Whelan drops deep. Nice little dink out to Hannant. Cohen has been very... he hasn't been involved much, but his off the ball positioning's been very good. He's been stagnating and frustrating Hannant from getting any space. There's Kane Adam up against Gordon. Gordon can play it back to Ebanks Landell. Back to Chapman. Well, passing it back to the goalkeeper, and Chapman pumps it forward. Mitchell turns. His ball wasn't good, though. It's picked up in midfield, and now Evans can latch onto this ball left-hand side. Can he keep it in? He lets it go out. It's a throw-in to Gateshead. Mark didn't see it.
I wonder why he was letting it go out. I was like, what's he doing? Fair enough.
We're going to have another long throw from Regan Booty. If you watch this, Mark, he's got a bit of a knack of just arcing his run here to get an extra whip on it, as he doesn't do it. When I say that, the ball goes up towards Story, doesn't win it in the air, falls to Hannant, who's for the first time, ricochets out to Whelan on the far side. Now Hannant whips it in. There's Booty at the back post. Can he keep it in? Pulls it back across. Oh, it just bounces away, but Brown keeps it under control, and Gateshead just keeping the pressure on. There's now Hannant whips it back in towards Adam. Oh, he just couldn't direct it, and Chapman was there just to grab it out the air.
It's going to be a free kick.
Was it a free kick? Was it? Well, it's been taken quickly, and Gateshead can... Well, Mitchell needs to be careful. He's on a yellow.
That ball was moving as well, by the way. No, not that I'm being picky.
Yeah. Booty. Richardson just plays it across the back to Tinkler. And across to Story. Back to Tinkler. Just starting to see a bit more of an animated front three more now from Rochdale and the midfield. They're pushing up a little bit, but this ball over the top looking for Kane Adam. And Adam's going to get past Gordon. He's done him. Chapman just pokes it away from the edge of the box. Evans gets the ball. Oh, and Ebanks Landell stood firm and just took that ball away from Evans. And that was a crucial interception. As the game just sparks into life. A little bit more here in the second half. Francis gives it to Richardson. Booty. And give it to Francis. Francis. So casual on the ball. Little lovely pass to Booty who can turn and run into space. Brings it forward. Gets it inside to Evans. Evans looks up and plays Story in. Hannant receives the ball right hand side. If he looks up, there's Whelan. Whelan turns, gives it to Story. Story back out to Hannant. Gets it camped out in and around the area at the moment. But can he make it away as Story goes through, nearly nods onto his own ball there. And comes off Story for a throw on the far side. And at the moment, Gateshead committing men forward, but they're going to have to be very careful being that cute in and around the box because Story is one of your defenders. He's up there on the charge.
Well, I think that's just committing and trying to commit Rochdale to try and come out and try and hit Gateshead on the break. You look at Story making the extra man as well. That extra option, it's probably needed because they've been very disciplined again in the second half.
Ball played into the right-hand channel, but it's going to be seen out for a goal kick.
Been very much a similar start to the first half, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
mean, obviously we know there is the goal difference between them, but there isn't much between them, and tactically they're very similar. And it's proven to be a nice battle. It isn't action-packed, but it's a one you've got to watch closely.
Oh, it is. 100% agree.
Ball over the top, looking for the run of Rodney, but Francis was there with lovely little chip back to Booty. Story nods it down to Evans. He's got time to space. Oh, just let it run away. Nevitt was there to intercept and plays it back to John. John back to Chapman. Well, Jacob Chapman rolls, kicks it out to Nevitt. Gordon screaming for the ball on this right-hand side. He hasn't been seen. Ball goes through the middle, goes up to Mitchell. Mitchell pokes the ball forward on the far side for Cohen. And a lovely tackle there from Luke Hannon to stop that run going forward.
Yeah, good break there. Nice and patient from Rochdale. Great ball in behind, I thought, as well. And I just look at this again. I keep saying it, but this front line of theirs, I think there's a real threat here. When they are getting forward and they are holding it up, which has been rare, I must say. I think there's a real threat here for Gateshead.
On the far side, Rodney gives it back to John. Rodney, corner of the box, curls it in. There's nobody there. Richardson can clear it. It's going to fall to East, though. Tries to play it through. Rodney, corner of the box, cuts inside with the ball, pulls the trigger, hits it off a Gateshead player. And Gateshead now can try and break as Francis puts it out to Adam. And can he open up here with Gordon? He tries to get past him. Gordon hanging on to him. And Adam takes down the dead ball line, wins a corner. Does very well, but great defending from Gordon.
Unbelievable defending, because we've seen enough of Ken Adam to know what he can do. And he can't just open up those gears and go. But he stayed with him brilliantly there, Gordon.
Stood firm, good. Saying could have lunged in. Used his body to stop it from going any further.
Do you wonder if I might say Greg Ollie soon?
Quite possibly. I think he is warming up, isn't he? As Evans.
Yeah, I think he's just getting a nod there. Maybe not.
Evans whips this one in towards the back post. The sun's in the eyes. It's in the back of the net.
Oh, no, it's not.
Surely not. I thought the header Story's header and there's a free kick being given there. And I tell you what, that was really close. But the players congratulating Jacob Chapman. Of course, we don't have replays.
Unbelievable save.
I think he scooped it off the line, hasn't he? Well, I was following the flight of the ball that looked like it was just going to go into the back of the net, and Chapman must have just scooped that back.
Yeah, unbelievable save if he has got a touch on it, because it looked in from here, as you proved. I think they're getting a talking to, but not a booking there. I'm quite surprised it's even a talking to, because it looked like a tackle to me. But,
yeah. Well, free kick is going to be taken now by Chapman. 59 minutes gone. Gateshead 1, Rochdale 0.
Really well worked for corner, by the way.
Well, Mitchell nearly on his toes there for the ball. Gilmore finds Nevitt. Back to Chapman. Pressure from Gateshead midfield as Booty tries to turn the screw, and now Gilmore looks for a runner. Plays it across to Cameron John. Back to Nevitt. Nevitt just getting the ball away, and Gateshead just trying to up the tempo in midfield here at the moment, and it's working as the ball up towards Dejon Brown. Nevitt nods. Oh, he nodded it down. He did very well there, Nevitt. Thought it was going to go out.
Also one's down.
Oh,
Buchanan's down.
Oh, Buchanan's down on the far side. Didn't see anything that happened there. He's following the ball. But we hope he's all right. He's lying face down. He's up. Well, he's turned over. Hopefully he's just had the wind knocked out of him. Well, 1-0 at the moment. While there's a break in play, we'll just go through some latest scores in the Vanarama National League. We'll get them scores. As I just text my wife to let her know how to cook a cook in the bag chicken. She's asking if you could take it out the bag. So there's a goal at South Shields, former Gateshead striker. Aaron Martin has scored, but the scores at the minute around the National League is Borehamwood 1, Dagenham Redbridge 4, Dorking 0, Bromley 1. It's East Ebbsfleet United 0, Southend United 1. 1-0, of course, here. 0-0 still between Hartlepool and FC Halifax. Altrincham have took the lead away to Kidderminster Harriers. Maidenhead with probably the shock of the day so far with that one there, beating Aldershot 2-0 at home. Then there's another shock, actually. Fylde still winning 3-1 away to Oldham. Barnet winning 2-1 away to Solihull Moors. Eastleigh winning 1-0 away to Woking. And the champions are winning 1-0 away to York City. And Luke Hannon is up. Looks like he'll come back on.
Yeah, they come here, aren't they? Chesterfield.
Yes, second last game of the season, April 16th. We'll see the champions come here. I was hoping they might have been on the beach by then, but they're still winning today.
Yeah, I think that squad there, I don't think they've got that in them. I think they have to. Yeah, I think they have to stay. You know, the manager, they've got to stay true to themselves and the supporters. They want to break records if they can. And
they've got a hungry management team down there, and of course you've got former Newcastle United midfielder Kieran Dyer, who he's dropped down the levels to get involved, and seems to be playing a pivotal part down at Chesterfield. So it's on and off the pitch, a strong contingent from Chesterfield. But the ball through to Tinkler, nods it away. Kane Adam clears it, only as far as Nevitt on the halfway line. Hayes has pulled across to this right-hand side, and his teammates haven't spotted him. Nevitt plays it down the left-hand side. Cohane plays it down. John has went on the overlap. Evans is there to help, but he brings it in. Good control, Cohane. Left-hand side of the box. Can he? Was it in?
No, sorry.
I thought you were showing us something.
No.
There's a corner on the far side to Rochdale.
We've seen what the attendance is today.
Yeah,
it does feel as if it's a decent one.
Definitely to our right-hand side, the stand looks absolutely jam-packed. As we're going to have a corner from the far side here.
See if there's another intricate set piece.
There is movement on the Gateshead bench here. But the ball comes in, and there's a player gone down in the box off the ball, and the referee said carry on.
There's a runner.
And now, lovely stuff. Evans has got space to run into. Now he's got Whelan on the far side. He's got Kane Adam in the middle, and now he plays it through. Kane Adam, what can he do? Up against the keeper, pulls it back across. Oh, he tried to play in Whelan. Evans picks up the ball, though, in the box, lays it back to Regan Booty. Now, Gateshead camped out inside the Rochdale half. Slightly the wrong decision to play the ball there, but faultless.
I think it possibly should have been an earlier ball, you know.
Yeah, I say Whelan was in acres of space, but Gateshead still bringing the ball forward through Booty. Kane Adam plays it inside to Evans. Evans wasn't expecting it. He was just caught on his heels, and now Hayes can try and bring it forward, and it's going to be a yellow card for Kenton Richardson. Just mistimed it there, and Hayes was away, unfortunately, for Richardson. The tackle coming just a little bit late.
Once again, Hayes is looking the threat, isn't he? I think here we are, Greg Ollie.
Yeah, well, Therese Sinclair is stripped and ready to go as well. Looks like Evans is coming off here. He did take a nasty knock on Tuesday. It was 50-50 whether he was going to play or not, but Greg Ollie is about to come on. And the Evans family are here to watch Evans as well, which is great to see. And Greg Ollie back on the pitch wearing number 10. But it's a double substitution. They're going to have Armstrong and Sinclair come on. So on the far side, Cohen has left the play. And we'll wait to see who the second player is to leave the game. Cohen getting a round of applause from the travelling fans on the far side. Nice to see.
Anytime you're ready.
Well, Armstrong is still standing patiently while we wait, and it does look as if it is going to be Cameron John that is coming off. So are we seeing a tactical change here?
I'll tell you what we are seeing. Another fourth official who only thinks there's three sides to this ground.
Yes.
Showed it to two empty stands, the away fans, but not the main stand.
Substitutions made. What difference will this make for the visitors?
Oh, they've got to go for it, haven't they? They've got to go for it. And, Sinclair can be a threat. Looks like he's taking up position left-hand side.
Jacob plays it out to Nevitt. Nevitt looks to pass the ball forward, but it's closed down, and Jacob now has the ball. Nevitt. There isn't many runners for him when he turns. And it comes back to Chapman. Banks Landell has the ball, plays it inside. East drops deep, but Ollie's chasing down. And at the moment, they're in control of the ball, but they're not getting out their own their own first third here, Rochdale. But now this looks like commentator's curse. Turns around, gives it back to Jacob, and this is dangerous stuff from Rochdale. They could play themselves into trouble, but Nevitt with clever feet brings the ball away and keeps it going. And now Gilmore can pick it up. Hayes is in space, which is only spots Gordon, and Adam loses his footing but gets back to chase down Gordon. Gordon carries the ball forward. He's still going out to Hayes, right-hand side of the box. Crosses the ball in left-footed. Out comes Harness. Just plucks it out the air. I say, Kyan Hayes, he just seems to have it all, doesn't he? Left foot, right foot. It wasn't a bad little cross in there.
I think the only thing I'd say about the cross is it's sort of a bit floaty.
Yeah.
It probably needs to put a bit more whip on it to really threaten Gateshead. Pretty comfortable for Harness to come out and claim.
Well, Gateshead bench barking out instructions. Both Magnay and Rob Elliott down there. Harness gets the ball back in the box, gives it to Whelan. Whelan puts it over to Story. We're seeing a lot more of a higher press now from Rochdale. East disrupts in midfield, but only gets the ball to Booty, and Booty lays it off to Ollie. Ollie to Kenton Richardson, and Gateshead can get numbers forward here as Adam plays it back. Robbie Tinkler in his bright orange boots just passes it to Harness.
To the sub coming.
I think we might see Marcus Denanga on here possibly, or Warman. Tinkler gives it to Harness. Kept in by Hannon on the far side. Back to Story. Story back to Harness. Harness goes long with this clearance, only as far as East, who brings it down. And Gateshead trying to close down the Rochdale players now as they have the ball. They pass it back. Armstrong gets his first touch. Plays it back to Nevitt. And the captain can play it forward for Rochdale. Gilmore plays it out to Hayes on this right-hand side. This is where he's dangerous. He's up against Kent Richardson. He's trying some trickery, but Booty comes back to double up and clear the ball in turn. And that goes out for a throw to the visitors.
I think you might be right, I think it might be Dejon Brown coming off for Denanga. I'm sure I saw 4 on the board. Denanga being called back now.
Warman as well. Warman. Yeah. So it looks like we're going to see some more forward players getting involved for Gateshead. Freshen some legs up as Mitchell holds it up, gets it out to Hayes. Hayes plays the ball through. Mitchell continued his run. Tinkler was there just to intercept. And that's a poor bit of communication from Gateshead, but they win it back through Francis, and now they can try and turn it into an attack as Ollie bursts forward, ball over the top. He's onside. What can Ollie do? He holds it up. He needs some support. There's appeals for offside on the far side, but he was definitely on. Adam plays it into the centre. Booty Ollie, corner of the box, Liz down, and Adam, he would have been offside if he had went for it, or he wouldn't have. Sorry, he just didn't anticipate it.
No, I think it was offside. I think he's held his run because he would have been offside. Really neat there. I saw that chip pass again to me from Ed Francis.
Well, Warman is going to come on, and it is going to be for Callum Whelan, who has a handshake with the referee. And Callum Whelan makes his way off here. Wow. And former Gateshead player trying to keep the hopes and dreams of Carlisle United alive. He scored a hat-trick, John Millich. Great to see him doing well. Is it too little too late for Carlisle, though?
Luke Armstrong there as well, former Gateshead line.
And Paul Foreman. Yeah, there's a few former Gateshead players there. Well, Ben Warman is on the pitch now. He'll take up the same position as what Mr. Whelan had. And is there another player being stripped down there at the moment?
Story's taken.
Yes, I think Denanga is stripped and ready to go. So we'll see in the next break if there's going to be another substitution.
Story's taking a blow here.
Yeah, Stories must be bleeding. The referee wants him to leave the pitch. So momentarily Gateshead down to 10 men. So he says he's took an elbow there.
Ed Francis just nipping into the...
Yeah, he's just slotting into that defensive role. He has played in that role before, as has Regan Booty. But Francis stepping back into that. He's going to have to change his shirt. New Story. So, Captain Ivan Blake's... Ivan
not in there. Not in there.
There's now Rodney on the far side. Ball goes out to Sinclair. Rolls it back. Gateshead going to have to stand firm. They've got a defender off the pitch. And Rochdale sense it. They're going to try and get this ball into the box. They've committed men forward. And at the moment, ball comes across to Ebanks Landell. Hayes hooking the right-hand touchline. Ball hasn't come over to him, though. Nevitt.
Number 50.
And, yes, we've got number 50 shirt on now on Story. There's Rochdale all inside the Gateshead half. Gets it back to the full quarter of players, but they're having to defend. Ball played in, Rodney lays it off, and that's a poor ball. And Gateshead can get on the break as Ollie picks it up, but was he fouled? Yes, he was. And the Rochdale manager puts his hands on his head in frustration.
Safe to say he didn't agree with it.
Well, Marcus Denanga, Gateshead's number 9. The Bear is coming on. 72 minutes gone. It's Gateshead 1, Rochdale 0. And it looks as though it is going to be...
Surely Dejon Brown.
Possibly, yeah. Yes, it is Dejon Brown. That is making way. We replaced the beast for the Bear. But Dejon Brown got his name on the score sheet. And will that goal be pivotal in the result of this game? The next 20 minutes will decide that. But Marcus Denanga will be looking to get his 20th league goal of the campaign here. He scored his first touch from the bench a couple of times this season. Can he do it again?
The pitch number 14, goal scorer, Dejon Brown, being replaced by number 9, Marcus Denanga.
Ball, he's on his toes all ready to receive the ball, but there's a lot of weight on that ball now to go for a goal kick.
Pretty much a shot.
Well,
yeah, Gateshead need the same work rate, the same intensity from Denanga here that Brown showed throughout the game.
Well, it looks like he's doing it already, trying to chase down Nevitt, but Nevitt carries the ball forward. Rodney drops deep. Oh, and Gateshead managed to get the ball. Ollie, lovely footwork, but just skips away from Booty. And Booty, and that's going to be a yellow card for Booty there. Slid in on Mitchell. And, yeah, you can't have no complaints with that.
I think he's probably done Gateshead a favour pulling that back, by the way, because
yeah,
they'll try to take it quickly and they were in.
Well,
yeah, I think you'll see, now in the last 15, you'll really see Rochdale go for it. They've clearly, brought on more sort of forward-thinking players. Sinclair's not really got into it just yet, but you know what he'll do left-hand side. Just look at the way they spread out across the front line now.
They've really tried to widen the pitch, haven't they? As Hayes gets the ball up against Kane Adam. And Kane Adam going with him, but he's still going Hayes, and Kane Adam just gets left behind a little bit, but the ball passed back east on the edge of the area. Gateshead trying to close down now with Gordon, right-hand side, crosses it in. It's got to be cleared by Gateshead. Hannant scoops it up into the air and nodded inside by Gordon, and Warman. Francis puts it over the top for Denanga. Ball bounces away, but can Gateshead pick up the second ball? They can. Ollie nearly put a beautiful through ball through to Denanga, and Wharton wins it back. Gateshead, not many men forward, but they've got possession of the ball as Booty takes it down the left-hand side, passes it in. Gilmore does well to win the ball back, and now they can pass the ball forward. Just building from the back now. Rochdale put it across.
Gets out of shape a little bit here.
Yeah, there's too much space there for Armstrong to bring the ball forward.
Switch on.
Hayes is in acres of space here. If they were a bit more switched on, that would have been the ball across. He's still in acres of space. They're not looking, but Sinclair has the ball left-hand side. Can he open up? He does, up against Hannant. The cross is too deep, too far, and that will bounce out for a throw-in. But yeah, if the defenders in midfield were a bit more switched on, look to the side. The result that's looking pretty good away from us is Hartlepool are winning 1-0 at home to Halifax at the moment. That helps in Gateshead's cause to stop one of the playoff contenders from getting points this afternoon. But there's a long way to go. 15 minutes remain here at Gateshead International Stadium. 1-0 to Gateshead. Dejon Brown with a goal in the first half. Kane Adam tried to turn his man, but Gordon's there to pick it up. And we're just seeing a lot more intensity and purpose from Rochdale at the moment. Gateshead just having to try and ride it out somewhat. But Evanks Landell has it just inside his own half. Gateshead intercept. Kenton Richardson plays it inside as Francis scoops the ball over to Booty. Booty back to Richardson. Now the ball over the top. There's a pull on the shirt there. Definite pull. Well,
I think they were both going at it, to be fair.
Yeah. Rochdale, Armstrong, far side. Can play it inside to Rodney. Rodney upended by Francis. The referee was closer than us, that's all I'll say.
Yeah. I've been impressed with Nevitt, by the way, at the back. He's only a young lad, isn't he?
We're
talking to the lads from
yeah, he's the same age as he's 18, Welsh under 19 international, and he looks a confident young man, doesn't he? Strong on the ball as he just turns and plays it back to Jacob Chapman. He's going to go long with this one, looking for the run of Sinclair on the far side. It's going to go all the way through to Harness.
The way he runs and kind of his stature, he's a bit like Mike Williamson. Nevitt.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sort of a little bit gangly.
Yeah, he's got that certain composure. Well, Gateshead, the ball at the back. Harness pumps it up towards Ollie, but the ball didn't get there, and Gilmore won it. Gateshead need to pick up this second ball. They do. Ollie brings it down. Lovely touch to Denanga. Denanga feeds it to Booty, and now Gateshead can break down the left. The ball is going to come into the middle. There's Greg Ollie tries to pull a shot. He gets the second bite of the cherry. Ew! It looked like it was just going to nestle in the back of the net. Chapman was flying, and Gateshead trying to double the lead.
Yeah, great effort from Greg Ollie. Fortunate how it come to him. I mean, such as Greg Ollie's ability, you just think it's going to nestle inside that far corner, but just past the post. And I think Chapman was beaten.
Yeah, credit to Denanga in the build-up there. Lovely touch and vision. Ball forward as Rodney drops deep. Was he fouled? Francis needs to be careful. I thought he might get a yellow here for the years.
Oh my God.
He's going to get a yellow here. The second tackle is in as many minutes, right in front of the referee. It's always the worry you have.
4 for Gateshead now.
Yeah, it's another yellow card, but 12 minutes remain here. 78 minutes gone. Gateshead 1, Rochdale 0, if you're just joining us. Ebanks Landell is going to pump this ball right through the centre, looking for the run of Rodney. Ball bounces through there to Harness. And the Gateshead goal rolls it out to Story. Story inside then, quick thinking from Ollie to feed it through.
It's not the worst ball at all.
Yeah, it's Denanga just wasn't able to latch onto that one, but Chapman rolls it out. As the captain, Evans Landell, lays it forward there, but well read by Kenton Richardson. Booty now plays it back to Adam. That's a bad one. That right in front of the referee. Didn't get the ball at all. And Gilmore, I think more frustration than anything else.
I think it's just what's the word? Clumsy.
Yeah. Well, it's always nice to hear the fans' input there. I don't know if that was picked up on the mic. But
the referee's obviously listened as well because he is booking.
Yeah. I mean, if all the other ones were yellows, that was a yellow as well. I don't think there was a red card.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
I can let you know the attendance today. And we have 1,760 here today, including 377 away fans.
Fantastic attendance there, over 1,700. 300 Dale fans have made the trip up. A massive credit to each and every one of them. They've been lucky that they've got the sun on the far side. They've got a bit of heat here, which is
they might not be feeling that.
They might not be feeling it, but at the moment we've got 10 minutes remain. Will the Rochdale fans have something to cheer about?
Really, really, really high line here, isn't it?
It is.
Rochdale pretty much.
Harness going to loft this one up, and it's going to go towards the back post. Chapman comes out easy.
I think it's caught the wind a bit there.
Been impressed with Chapman this afternoon.
Yeah, it's been exactly what he was when he was here, isn't he?
Yeah.
Decent playing out from the back and composed. An unbelievable save if he did get a hand in it for the...
Certainly was. Well, East has the ball, plays it back to Nevitt. Nevitt brings it forward. Gilmore pumped it forward, but Hannon's there to intercept, and Story passes it forward. And Hannon just puts a blind ball forward there, it has to be said. He was under pressure on two sides, but it can be picked up by Nevitt.
It was Warman,
to East. Was it Warman? Was it? Sorry. Yeah. Far side. Hannon does get the ball now, and fortunately it comes to him. Ball in. It wasn't a bad ball there. I think the keeper might have grabbed it if that had been someone could have coming in there, but goes out for a goal kick.
Another sub coming on, I think. Another Rochdale sub, you'd imagine a forward player, possibly.
Yeah.
Just trying to say.
Unless they try and pack the midfield a bit more to try and stagnate Gateshead that way, and so they can commit more men forward. But Hayes gets the ball on this right-hand side up against Kenton Richardson. Adams back to help. He cuts inside Hayes. Hayes rolls it back to Gordon. Gordon crosses in. It's behind everybody, but it falls to Sinclair. Gets a shot off. Oh, great save from Harness with his thighs, and then dives forward to get it. It was a reaction save.
It's
unconventional.
Yeah, it's not something to say in any goalkeeping manual, but it doesn't matter because it didn't go in the net.
Well, it's
again, another threat. We know where it's coming from.
And say the shot itself came up from the other wing with Sinclair there. Harness with it, one up towards Kane. Adam, he brought it down. I tell you what, I've got to give Gordon some credit. He's read it very well this afternoon. There's been a few balls, but his pass wasn't great there. Booty plays it inside to Francis. Francis takes a touch. Just has to turn it round and keep it in Gateshead's possession. Didn't want to run into a brick wall.
Sam Mather coming on, I think.
Yeah, there's Ollie. Oh, his ball just over the top there is out for a throw, and I think we're going to see the substitution here. Mather is coming on, and it is going to be Gilmore that is replaced. And I think that's probably a wise decision, that, because I think he's integral in what's happening in midfield, Gilmore, and there's a chance he will probably catch somebody, and it's not worth risking getting a red card at this stage.
No. And again, it's just more energy in there as well. Fresh legs in midfield. We've got 8 minutes left, plus stoppage time.
So there's a good 10-12 minutes left, you would say, it play. But Ollie, it was a lovely tackle by Hayes there, as the captain pumps it down line. That ball looked like it has went out. Has been given. That was very late.
How long did he take to give that?
I don't like to get on officials' backs, but there's been a lot of late decisions in this season. I know there's certain rule change to the offsides, but when it goes out of play, come on, just put the flag up. Kenton Richardson gives it back to Tinkler. The movement to Harness there, just giving the other option to move the ball if needed. Ball back to Story from.
I think it's just got to go now.
Yeah. There we go. It's not a bad one, that. I think we picked up the second ball, but East picks up the second ball, plays it out to Armstrong. Maidenhead 4-0 against Aldershot. And Altrincham winning 3-1. Away to Kidderminster, ball back to Chapman. Chapman's kick goes straight out of play on the far side. A little bit of snoppiness from both sides at the moment.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of nervousness. No one wants to make that mistake and ultimately make mistakes by
It's all very
not making a mistake.
all very tentative, isn't it?
Yeah.
No one really committing to too much.
Well, gets it out the ball. Story plays it in the centre. Ollie tried to turn, it just slipped underneath his studs, but Denanga battling like a man possessed to try and win the ball back. Ball forward from Armstrong and Sinclair. He's
It's the same as the one first half, isn't it?
he's just fell awkwardly, and I think it's Robbie Tinkler again, isn't it?
That wasn't the same injury he had earlier in the season, Tinkler, where someone fell on him.
Yeah, when he dislocated his shoulder, but I think
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right. He's okay. But it's just one of them ones where it's just an awkward fall than a landing even.
Yeah. Great crowd, by the way, we should say.
Amazing. And I'd say fully commending the away crowd as well. The Rochdale fans have done themselves proud today. The ball up towards Kane Adam, chasing down, and it goes through. And it's going to be a throw right next to the corner flag. Gordon, he had to get ahead on it.
Yeah,
and,
do you know what as well? I think he's had a really good game against Adam.
He's nullified him to an extent. His reading of the game has been absolutely fantastic. The way he's used his body as well, arced his runs. Very good player. Kieran Gordon, been impressed with him. Booty launches a long throw in. It's been headed back to him. Can he get across it? Oh, no. He let it go out for another throw. Game management, I think that's called.
Yeah, it certainly is. Ed Francis is a ball, by the way.
4 minutes remain as Booty launches yet another one into the box. Headed clear back to Booty. You couldn't let it go out that time. Gives it to Francis. I think Francis is going to take a touch and comes back out from Ollie to Booty. Tried to see the run of... well done, Luke Hannon. Brought it down under pressure from Rodney and laid it off, and the ball comes back up to Booty here on the left-hand side. Tried to play it inside to Ollie, and Gateshead nearly won it back, but the pressure is pretty good. But Gateshead can keep the ball back in possession. Left-hand side, that's where all the action is at the moment for Gateshead. Inside to Francis, he's got room. People saying shoot. He tried to thread it through to Adam, and he just couldn't control it. And Booty is a man that is really timing his tackles beautifully at the moment. He's here, there, and everywhere, and he's back on the ball again. Inside to Francis. Ball across to Hannon, who's in the sunshine in front of the travelling fans. Back to Story. Tinkler. Under pressure, but just calmly gives it to Kenton Richardson. Back to Tinkler. Tinkler back to Harness in the Gateshead goal.
He's at high line again if you want to.
Wow, York have turned it around 2-1 against Chesterfield at the moment, if that message is correct to us. As Gordon brings it down well, lays it back to Chapman. And we have 2 minutes of normal time remaining. Keep an eye out for the fourth official here. How many minutes is going to be added on? And the manager of Rochdale having a look to see how long's left as well as the captain.
Good ball, that.
Ebanks Landell launches it forward. Story reads it well. It needs to go to a Gateshead player. He hooks it clear on the far side. Warman, and it's going to bounce through. Denanga nearly got on it, but Ebanks Landell can get this ball moving forward again. Lays it off to Gordon. Gordon under pressure from Ollie. Gateshead sitting a little bit deeper here, but at the moment we haven't had a probing ball yet from Rochdale. 1.5 minutes remain of normal time. Now comes the probing ball through the centre. Story nods it down, finds Francis. Francis calms, turns, and a high foot there on Francis. He's down to free kick to Gateshead. And at the moment, Gateshead just winding down the clock.
Yeah, I think he's been quite canny there, Ed Francis. He knew the contact was coming, so he's just got rid of the ball and killed a little bit more time.
It's time once again to announce your person, Samus, and man of the match. And once again, a very difficult decision.
Well, the man of the match is going to be announced.
And it's going to number 13, Dijon Brown.
Well, goals do grab the attention of games, and it's a corner given really poor from Rochdale at the back there.
I don't know why he let it go.
Dejon Brown with the man of the match. I don't know either, but Dejon Brown with the official man of the match. And he gave a fantastic, his battles with Nevitt and the captain, Ebanks Landell, and Solihull Moser just equalised against Barnet. So there's some interesting scores going around, but if Gateshead can hold on to the 3 points here, that's the most important thing. Let other people deal with their results, we'll deal with ours. But at the moment, Gateshead have a corner on the far side. We're into the last 15 seconds of the first half. I can see the board. I think there's 5 minutes to be added on. We'll confirm that in a minute. We await this delivery. In it comes from Francis. There's a tight nip there. Ollie on the edge of the area goes for a curling shot. It's been blocked, and this is dangerous now from... Oh, great tackle. And he's given the free kick. I can't believe he's going to get a yellow card as well. Oh, my word. Well, they have a free kick here. We didn't get... How many minutes was there? Was it 5? He didn't show us again. So well done to the fourth official there. But this is an opportunity for them to use their height and strength in the box, Rochdale. Ten yards in from the halfway line. East will be looking to deliver this one in towards where the big men run. And as he does, it goes out towards the far side. It fell to Sinclair. Lays it off. Armstrong has the ball. Dinks a ball in, looking for the run of Sinclair. He hasn't got it under control, laid it back, and it's a corner on the far side. And they made life difficult with that one, Rochdale. They'll be looking to do the same again here with this corner.
They've been great from set pieces, apart from the one in the first half at the end where they just overhit it. But I think they've been a real threat.
Well, we're a minute into the added on time. I believe it's 5. In comes the delivery. There's a few yellow shirts pushing about, and Nevitt was there and had to be taken away from him. And Gateshead on the attack as Ollie puts it across. There is Woolman with the ball. He's just going to take it out towards the corner flag. He's just going to slow it down. He stops and brings it back.
It's fine.
Gateshead doing nothing silly. Story has it on the far side. Was he fouled? No, the ball has went out. It's a throw, and he's trying to slow it down and disrupt, but the throw-in has been taken. East plays the ball back to Nevitt. With 2 minutes of nearly gone of the added on 5. Nevitt now pokes the ball towards Hayes on this right-hand side. And Hayes, the only time...
Dave, you know what that was like? What? That was like one of those West Indian spin bowlers. The spin on the pitch.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was a spin on the pitch.
This famed.
But that's the only time where Hayes has not had the best control, and Adam brings it down. He's got players in the centre. He's trying to turn and do it all himself, and he gets a lovely tackle. And Ollie has a corner of the box. Can Gateshead finish it off here across to Hannant, far side, and just going to patiently use the ball, use the space, and let them seconds tick down here in added on time as Kenton Richardson had the ball moving now. Booty plays it into Ollie. Offside flag goes up, and that one was close.
I think that ball should have been taken in the corner, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, well, we've got about 2 minutes and 8 seconds left by my reckoning, if it was 5 minutes, just to confirm the fourth official didn't show the main stand, the board.
It's weird that, isn't it?
Yeah. There's
pressure, Greg
Ollie closing down Nevitt, and a free kick's been given. He's given these niggly things now, and that's
a few back, by the way.
Needs to be taken.
He's going to let him take it as well. That's about 10 yards back.
And he's going to move it forward again here. East, there you go. So surely Rochdale, this is going to be one of their last throws of the dice. Can they make it count? East goes short. Armstrong plays it out to Sinclair. Sinclair has the runner, but he cuts inside, goes for a chip ball into the middle, and that'll go all the way through to Harness. Wasted by Rochdale, you have to say.
Tell you what, I think Gateshead's defence has been outstanding today, by the way. And I include Nathan Harness in that.
There's been it's been textbook. This is the one way to put it. They haven't put a foot wrong. Everything that's come at them, they've dealt with.
Tell you what,
and that's a ball over the top. And Denanga, if he can get to it, keeper's going to get that all day long. If it had been the 50s, he would have been in the back of the net there, the keeper. But we're into that last minute, we believe. Ebanks Landell on the ball, plays it back to Chapman. I think we're going to see a long punt here from the big Australian. There he goes. He slips as he kicks it. Tinkler just nods it over to this far side, and it's going to be Mathers twisting and turning, holds the ball up. He's going to have to play it back to Gordon. The captain has it again for Rochdale. Puts a ball across to the far side, looking for Sinclair. It's a good ball, well brought down by Sinclair. Hannant trying to close down, as is Warman. Hannant just didn't lunge in there to give space. Ollie coming with a sliding tackle, but it's going to fall to a yellow shirt. Deflected out, and now Denanga can chase Nevitt down for this. And has he got past him? He has. He brings the ball down. Nevitt's going to come back and make life difficult. But Denanga is going to take it to the corner. He's doing well and just lays it back to Booty and gets it in. Well, we're in control now. Hayes can try and go forward. There's the full-time whistle. Gateshead have rounded off a fantastic week that sees 9 points gained in the promotion playoff race. And Gateshead today have been nothing more than just absolutely... The word I want to look for is sensational, but I think it's been regimented, it's been display, it's been a really calm display in how to play a game of football.
I think what you're probably looking at there is the other side of Gateshead. It wasn't always it wasn't 90 minutes of pretty passing football. It was they dug in when they had to. They made the challenges, they made the blocks, they stayed disciplined, they did the defensive side of the game brilliantly. They earned a clean sheet, even though Harness has maybe made 1-2 saves maximum. I just thought it was it's a sort of performance that gets you into playoffs, if I'm honest.
We've said on the podcast and on previous commentaries, it's hook or by crook at the moment, how you get the points. But Rochdale, credit to their travelling fans, credit to Rochdale as well. They played attractive football, and today wasn't their day, and neither has the season really. But they'll come again next year. We wish them all the best. But for us, it's on to AFC Filed on Monday evening. And we hope Monday afternoon. And if you're travelling down, have a safe time. Join us on the Heat Army podcast on Thursday evening, where we'll be talking about it and previewing, of course, that big cup game. But at the moment, Gateshead are on the march, and they've got another 3 points here today. And Dejon Brown was the man that put the ball in the back of the net. And thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you next time.